People who have been cheated on, did you expose them? I never thought I'd be the guy sitting in a therapist's office trying to save a marriage that was already dead. But there I was, every Thursday night for 6 weeks, listening to my wife Mandy tell some stranger how I didn't understand her feelings. We'd been married 8 years, 2 kids, a house in the suburbs, the whole thing. But somewhere around month 3 of our youngest starting preschool, everything changed. Mandy got distant, criticized everything I did. The way I loaded the dishwasher was wrong. The way I talked to the kids was wrong. Even the way I breathed seemed to annoy her. I figured it was stress, maybe postpartum stuff that lasted longer than usual. So when she suggested therapy, I jumped at it. I wanted to fix us. Every session she'd cry about how lonely she felt, how I worked too much, how I didn't really see her anymore. And I'd sit there taking it, apologizing, promising to do better. The therapist even said I was making great progress. I started coming home early. I planned date nights. I wrote her little notes. Nothing changed. Session 7 started like all the others. We sat down on that ugly beige couch. The therapist asked how our week went, and Mandy just sat there staring at her hands. "Mandy?" the therapist said gently. "What's going on?" Mandy's voice came out barely above a whisper. "I can't keep lying." My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" I asked. She finally looked at me, tears streaming down her face. "I've been seeing someone since April. It's Greg from work. I thought I could stop, but I can't. I'm in love with him." The room went silent except for the clock ticking on the wall. 5 months. She'd been cheating for 5 months while we sat here talking about my communication issues. I stood up and walked out. Didn't say a word. Just left her sitting there. The thing is, I'd known something was wrong since June. Call it gut instinct. So I'd done something I never thought I'd do. I installed a monitoring app on our shared iPad that she always used for texting. I told myself I was paranoid, that I was being crazy. Turns out I wasn't crazy enough. That night, I went through everything. Messages, photos, video calls, all of it backed up in a cloud folder she didn't know existed. Greg wasn't just her coworker. He was her direct supervisor. And their messages weren't just romantic. They were detailed plans about a future without me. I didn't sleep, but I also didn't cry. I got angry, then I got focused. Friday morning, I called a lawyer. By Monday, I had a consultation. By Wednesday, I had a strategy. I acted normal at home, made breakfast, helped with homework. Asked Mandy how her day was. She seemed relieved that I wasn't yelling or begging. She probably thought I was processing things, maybe even considering forgiveness. I was processing things, just not the way she thought. 2 weeks after her confession, Mandy came downstairs to find 3 suitcases by the front door. On the kitchen table sat a manila envelope with her name on it. Inside were printed transcripts of every message, every photo, a timeline of when she'd been with him while telling me she was working late, and a formal letter from my attorney outlining the divorce petition and custody arrangement. The best part? Her company had a strict policy against relationships between supervisors and their direct reports. I'd already sent a detailed email to their HR department with evidence attached. Greg was married too, so I made sure his wife got a copy of everything as well. Mandy's face went white as she read through the pages. "You've been planning this the whole time?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Since the second you admitted it," I said calmly. "You spent 6 months lying to my face and $5,000 of our money on therapy to make yourself feel better about cheating. I spent 2 weeks making sure you'd regret it." She tried to argue, said I was cruel, said she'd made a mistake and deserved a chance, but I was done listening. The divorce went through fast since she didn't want the evidence presented in court. I got primary custody because her affair and all those late nights proved an unstable environment for the kids. She had to move in with her sister because Greg dumped her the second HR started investigating. Last I heard, they both got fired. And because of the prenup clause about infidelity, she walked away with almost nothing.